Ready to escape reality for a bit?
Always up for that.
Today we're diving deep into fantasy.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, we've got the Wikipedia article on fantasy to guide us, but we're going to go beyond the basics here.
Sounds good.
Get ready for some unexpected insights.
I love those.
Right, maybe even a few aha moments.
I'm excited.
So, what's really fascinating about fantasy to you?
You know, what I think is really interesting is how it goes beyond just escapism.
Hmm.
It really taps into something deeper, I think. Like our innate human desire for meaning, for purpose.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
These stories, with their epic battles and magical quests,
Right.
they give us metaphors for our own lives.
Oh, interesting.
Like for overcoming challenges or finding your place in the world.
I never thought about it that way.
It's pretty cool when you think about it.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Right.
But before we get too deep into all that,
Sure.
let's back up a bit. How does Wikipedia actually define fantasy? This genre that speaks to us on such a core level.
Well, it emphasizes the elements of the supernatural
Okay.
and world building, which are key
Okay.
for transporting us beyond reality's limits.
I like that.
It creates these worlds with unique rules and possibilities, often blending elements of myth and folklore.
So it's not just about dragons and wizards.
Not at all.
It's about crafting a whole new reality.
Exactly.
But then how do we distinguish it from, its close cousins, science fiction and horror?
Good question.
Sometimes the lines seem blurry.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
The key is in how we approach the impossible.
Ooh.
You think about it.
Yeah.
In fantasy, we just accept magic
Uh-huh.
without needing a scientific explanation.
We do, yeah.
We suspend our disbelief.
We allow ourselves to be swept away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But with science fiction, even if the concepts are futuristic and impossible now,
Right.
there's usually at least a suggestion of scientific principles behind it.
Yeah. Or at least the suggestion that it could be possible one day.
Yes, exactly.
So it's about what we're willing to accept as true within the story's world.
I think so, yeah.
So, for example, a fire-breathing dragon
Totally fantasy.
is pure fantasy, but a spaceship traveling faster than light,
Right.
while impossible now, feels like it could fit in science fiction.
For sure. Because we can imagine the science even if we don't have it yet.
I see. It's about the rules of the game, so to speak.
Yes, I like that.
And while horror, like fantasy,
Yeah.
can have supernatural elements, horror's focus is really on fear and dread.
Right, exactly.
But fantasy often emphasizes like heroism
Yeah.
and adventure and good versus evil.
For sure.
It's interesting how those subtle differences
Yeah.
can lead to such different emotional experiences for the audience.
Absolutely.
But the Wikipedia article on fantasy mentions that it has ancient roots.
Oh, it does, yeah.
What are some of those early examples?
Well, fantasy has been around for centuries. It's really interesting to see how far back it goes
Yeah.
and how much it draws from ancient myths and folklore.
Okay, so give me some examples.
Okay, we'll take the Epic of Gilgamesh, for example.
Yeah, I've heard of that, but don't know much about it.
It's a story about a hero's quest for immortality.
Classic.
Right, or Greek mythology.
Yeah, the gods and monsters.
Yes, captivating audiences for millennia.
For sure.
And who could forget the enchanting stories in 1001 Nights?
Such classics.
Right, they weave magic and adventure in ways that still resonate today.
It's really amazing to think that those stories we consider classics
I know.
actually laid the foundation for the fantasy genre as we know it.
Pretty cool to think about.
But how did fantasy evolve in the modern era?
Well-
Were there specific authors or works that shaped its development?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm ready for a history lesson.
The 19th and 20th centuries saw authors like George MacDonald.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Yeah.
He was a big influence on Tolkien, right?
He was. And he's considered by many to be the father of modern fantasy.
Wow.
And then there's William Morris,
Okay.
who really helped shape the genre with their imaginative works.
So MacDonald,
Yeah.
what were some of his works?
Well, works like Fantastas
Okay.
and The Princess and the Goblin,
Interesting.
they really explored fantastical worlds and themes, laying the groundwork for what we now consider modern fantasy literature.
So we've got these foundational authors
Yeah.
setting the stage,
Yes.
but then along comes The Lord of the Rings,
Oh, yes.
and boom,
Look
the
at that.
fantasy landscape is forever changed.
Big time.
What was it about Tolkien's work that made it such a game changer?
Well, I think Tolkien's genius
Yeah.
lies in his meticulous world building.
Okay.
He didn't just create a story,
Right.
He crafted an entire mythology.
For Middle Earth.
Yes,
Yes.
complete with languages, history, and complex characters.
That level of detail.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It makes Middle-earth feel so real.
Like a place you could get lost in. Exactly.
It's like stepping into a fully realized alternate universe.
I love that.
But Tolkien's impact wasn't limited to books, right?
No, not at all.
The Lord of the Rings became a cultural phenomenon,
Huge.
inspiring movies, video games,
Yeah.
even tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons.
I mean, it's everywhere.
It's true.
You're absolutely right. Tolkien's work had a ripple effect across various forms of media.
Give me some examples.
Okay, well, think about the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit film adaptations.
Oh, those were visually stunning.
Right.
Yeah.
They brought those epic battles and sweeping landscapes to life on the big screen.
I remember being in awe.
It was incredible.
Yeah, they captured the grandeur of Tolkien's world.
They did such a good job with it.
Then you have video games like the Elder Scrolls series
Oh, yeah.
and The Witcher,
Mm-hmm.
both drawing inspiration from classic fantasy literature while pushing the boundaries of interactive storytelling.
It's incredible how these different media interpretations build upon each other.
Expanding the reach and influence of fantasy.
We can't forget about Dungeons & Dragons.
How could we?
It's more than just a game.
It is.
It's a form of collaborative storytelling, allowing players to create their own characters and embark on adventures within a shared fantasy world.
Absolutely.
You know, I've heard so many stories of people forming lifelong friendships through their D&D campaigns.
That's the best part.
It is.
Dungeons & Dragons provide such a unique space for social interaction.
And creative expression.
Yes.
It really further solidifies the enduring legacy of fantasy.
Couldn't agree more.
But let's not forget that fantasy isn't a monolithic genre.
Oh, not at all.
Right.
It's actually a vast and diverse landscape of subgenres,
Right.
each with its own distinct flavor and appeal.
Ooh, this is where it gets really interesting for me.
Uh-huh. Okay, I'm ready.
I admit I tend to gravitate towards epic battles and quests,
Okay.
but I'm curious to hear about some of the other flavors of fantasy out there.
Okay, let's do it.
Where should we even begin?
Well, you've just described high fantasy,
Oh, uh-huh.
the kind Tolkien is known for.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for something a bit more fast-paced and action-oriented,
Huh.
there's sword and sorcery.
Yeah, cool. What's that like?
Think Conan the Barbarian battling against dark forces in a world of gritty realism.
So less about intricate world building,
Yeah.
more about thrilling adventures.
Exactly. It's about visceral thrills
Mm-hmm.
and larger-than-life heroes.
I like it.
And then, for those who prefer magic woven into a modern setting, there's urban fantasy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, think Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Dresden Files,
Okay.
where magic and mythical creatures exist alongside contemporary life.
I love that idea of magic hidden in plain sight.
It's a fun one.
Yeah. It makes you wonder what secrets might be lurking just beneath the surface of our own world.
Right.
But I'm guessing there are even more niche subgenres out there, right?
Oh, definitely.
What about those less explored corners of the fantasy world?
Well, you've got Gaslamp Fantasy.
Never heard of it.
It draws inspiration from the Victorian era with its intricate social structures and technological advancements.
Interesting.
And then there's Shenmue fiction,
What's that?
a Chinese genre filled with gods, demons, and martial arts.
Wow.
It's truly a world of possibilities within the broader umbrella of fantasy.
It really is mind-blowing how diverse the genre is.
It is, right.
You mentioned Shenmue fiction earlier,
I did.
which I admit I'm not very familiar with.
That's okay. Not many people are.
What sets it apart from other fantasy subgenres?
Well, Shenmue fiction,
Yeah.
it's deeply rooted in Chinese mythology and folklore.
Okay.
It features a blend of fantastical elements like deities, demons, and martial arts.
Sounds intense.
It can be.
So it's not just about the action and adventure.
It's not.
There are also deeper questions about life and morality.
Often, yeah.
Interesting.
Shenmue fiction often delves into the struggle between good and evil, the pursuit of enlightenment, and the nature of destiny.
It sounds fascinating. I definitely need to add some Shenmue novels to my reading list.
You should.
But speaking of reading, what about the fantasy fandom?
Oh, it's a big one.
What's the community like?
It's incredibly vibrant and passionate. You've got conventions like the World Fantasy Convention,
I have heard of that.
where fans from all over gather to celebrate their love of the genre, attend panels, meet authors, and just geek out together.
I've always wanted to go to one.
You should. It's a lot of fun.
That sounds like a dream come true for any fantasy enthusiast.
It is.
I can only imagine the amazing cosplay you'd see there.
Oh, the cosplay is incredible.
But beyond conventions, how else does this passion manifest itself?
I mean, it's everywhere.
Like what?
Fan fiction. where fans write their own stories based on their favorite worlds and characters.
That's
It's
cool.
incredibly popular. And then there's fan art, music, and even crafts inspired by fantasy books, movies, and games.
Wow.
The creativity within this fandom is truly boundless.
That's really cool.
It is.
It's inspiring to see how fantasy sparks such creativity and community.
For sure.
It really speaks to the power of shared passion.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about something a bit more, I don't know, controversial.
Okay.
Is there any truth to the stereotype that fantasy is mostly for men, written by men, starring men?
That's a common misconception.
It is.
And the reality is much more nuanced.
How so?
While some subgenres, like epic fantasy, historically had a higher percentage of male authors, others, like urban fantasy and paranormal romance, are dominated by female authors.
Really?
Yeah, and they often feature strong female protagonists.
Oh, interesting. It's interesting how those gender dynamics play out across different subgenres.
Yeah.
It seems like there's been a real shift in recent years, with more and more female authors and characters taking center stage in fantasy.
There has.
That's cool.
And it's important to remember that great fantasy stories can come from anyone, regardless of their gender.
Couldn't agree more.
It's a genre that transcends limitations and offers a space for diverse voices and perspectives.
So true.
It really is.
You know, with all this talk of subgenres and authors,
Yeah.
it makes me wonder, what are the key elements that make a fantasy story truly work?
That's a good question.
What draws readers in and keeps them hooked?
I think it goes back to that idea of world building.
Which we touched on earlier.
Yes.
Right.
A successful fantasy story needs to create a world that feels believable,
Believable how?
even if it's populated by dragons and wizards.
Sure.
It needs its own internal logic, a set of rules that govern how magic works, how society functions, and how characters interact with their environment.
So even though we're dealing with the impossible, there needs to be a sense of order and consistency.
I think so, yes.
That makes sense.
Readers need to understand the rules of the game, so to speak.
Right, like we were talking about earlier,
Exactly.
in order to fully immerse themselves in the story.
I think that's key.
Okay.
And that's where the skill of the author comes in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They need to strike a balance between the familiar and the fantastical, creating a world that's both enchanting and believable.
Tolkien was a master of this.
He was.
But what about character development? How important is that in fantasy?
I mean, characters are the heart of any good story,
That's true.
and fantasy is no exception.
For sure.
We need to connect with the characters,
Yeah.
to care about their struggles and triumphs.
Yeah.
We need to see them grow and evolve as they face challenges and overcome obstacles.
You know, I think that's why I love coming-of-age stories in fantasy,
Oh, me too.
especially when they feature young protagonists who discover their strength and resilience through their adventures.
Yes. There's something so relatable about that journey of self-discovery,
Totally.
even if it takes place in a magical realm.
Right.
And those coming-of-age stories often tap into universal themes of identity, belonging, and purpose.
That's true.
They remind us that even in fantastical worlds, the human experience remains at the core.
So we've got world building and character development, but what about the magic itself?
Okay.
How do authors make that element work without it feeling cheesy or too convenient?
Well, that's where a well-defined magic system comes in.
Okay, so it can't just be random acts of wizardry.
Wow.
There need to be rules, limitations, and consequences to how magic is used.
Exactly.
So give me an example.
Okay, well, take Brandon Sanderson's work, for example.
Okay.
He's known for creating intricate magic systems with their own internal logic and limitations.
So it's like magic becomes a science in a way.
In a way,
Yes.
that makes sense.
It has to be grounded in something,
Right.
even if that something is a set of fantastical rules.
Yeah.
That makes it feel more believable.
Okay.
And adds a layer of complexity to the storytelling.
Makes sense.
It does, right?
It makes me think of the Kingkiller Chronicle by Patrick Rothfuss.
Oh, yeah,
The magic system in those books is so intricately woven into the world.
it is.
It feels like an essential part of the natural order.
Very cool. But beyond the mechanics of magic, what are some of the broader themes that fantasy explores? What makes it more than just escapist entertainment?
Well, one of the most common themes is the battle between good and evil,
Right, the classic.
which we see played out in countless fantasy novels, movies, and games.
For sure.
It's a timeless theme
Yeah.
that speaks to our own internal struggles and the choices we make in the face of adversity.
It's like those stories give us a safe space to explore those complex moral dilemmas without real-world consequences.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
And fantasy also often explores themes of personal growth and self-discovery. Think about the hero's journey,
Oh, yeah.
a common archetype in fantasy,
Right.
where the protagonist embarks on a quest, faces challenges, and ultimately emerges transformed by their experiences.
I love that trope.
It's a classic for a reason.
Right.
It's a reminder that challenges, even in the most fantastical of settings, can lead to personal growth and self-discovery.
But I also think fantasy can be a powerful tool for social commentary, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Fantasy allows authors to create worlds that mirror our own. But with the added element of the fantastical, this allows them to explore social and political issues in a way that's both thought-provoking and engaging.
It's like using a fictional world to shed light on real-world problems.
Precisely.
That's really cool.
It is. It's really powerful when it's done well.
So give me an example.
Take Ursula K. Le Guin's Earthsea series, for example.
Oh, okay.
It's not just about wizards and dragons.
It's not.
It's also about exploring themes of power, responsibility, and the interconnectedness of all things.
It's amazing how these stories can operate on multiple levels.
I know, right?
Offering both escapist entertainment and deeper social commentary.
It's really the mark of a skilled author.
It makes you appreciate the true artistry of great fantasy writing.
I agree.
It's a genre that demands creativity, imagination, and a deep understanding of human nature.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
But let's not forget, amidst all this talk of themes and metaphors,
Right.
that fantasy, at its heart, is also about fun and entertainment.
Absolutely. It's about getting lost in a good story,
Yes.
experiencing the thrill of adventure, and letting our imaginations run wild.
That's what I love about it.
I think that's what makes fantasy so enduring.
I agree.
It speaks to something deep within us.
Deeper how?
Our innate desire for wonder and escape.
I like that.
It allows us to step outside the confines of reality and experience something truly magical.
You know, thinking back to our conversation about fantasy's ancient roots,
Yeah,
it's incredible how the genre has evolved over time.
it is.
From those early myths and legends to the complex and diverse world of fantasy we see today.
I agree. It's come a long way.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It really is.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From defining fantasy to exploring its history and diverse subgenres.
And it's passionate fandom.
Yeah, it's clear that fantasy is more than just escapism.
Oh, for sure.
It's a reflection of ourselves, I think.
And our deepest desires.
Yeah, but before we wrap up,
Okay.
let's try to distill some key takeaways for our listeners today.
Good idea.
What are the most essential things to remember about fantasy?
That's a tough one. There's so much.
I know, it's a big topic.
But I think, first and foremost,
Yeah.
fantasy is about imagination.
Oh,
It invites us to step outside the limitations of our everyday lives
I like that.
and embrace the impossible.
It's like a permission slip to dream bigger
Exactly.
and imagine bolder possibilities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Secondly, fantasy is a genre of immense depth and diversity.
Right.
There's something for everyone, whether you're drawn to epic battles and quests,
Yeah.
or intricate magic systems,
Right.
or stories that explore the complexities of human relationships.
It's true. There's always something new to discover within the world of fantasy.
Always.
It's a genre that never gets stale.
And lastly, I think it's important to remember that fantasy, at its core, is about connection.
Connection.
Yeah.
In what way?
It connects us to our own inner worlds,
Oh.
to the shared human experience, and to a community of like-minded individuals who share a passion for these stories.
Oh, that's nice.
It really is.
It's a beautiful reminder that we're not alone in our love of fantasy.
Right.
There's a whole world out there of people who share this passion.
A big one.
And that's a truly special thing.
So true.
So we've explored the worlds others have built, but now it's our listeners' turn.
Oh, I like that.
We're giving them a creative challenge.
If you could build your own fantasy world,
What would it look like?
would it be a world of high magic?
With soaring castles and powerful wizards,
Or a world grounded in gritty realism?
where magic is a subtle force.
What kind of creatures would inhabit your world?
What challenges would your heroes face?
What values would shape your society?
The possibilities are endless.
They really are.
It's exciting to think about all the unique and amazing worlds our listener might imagine.
And who knows?
Maybe someday.
We'll get to read about those worlds.
In a best-selling fantasy novel.
That would be awesome.
It would. Well, that's all the time we have for today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. This was so much fun.
Yeah, this was great.
Until next time, keep dreaming, keep exploring, and keep the magic of fantasy alive.
Bye, everyone.